Dogmeat has been the most loyalist of loyal boys, the ever loyal to the Fallout series. He's been in every single Fallout game, and he's been loyal to me in building probably one of the most craziest Voltron decks I've ran in my pod. He's super quick and shoots to end the game quickly. If you don't know what Voltron is, basically it's a strategy of building up one creature to just swang, do damage, ideally commander damage, and win. And my question I pose to you is, can you beat my meat? This is going to be a deck overview, and I'm going to talk about the cards in this deck, and hopefully it'll give you some ideas in building your Voltron or whatever deck you're interested in. But this is my red, white, green Voltron Dogmeat deck, so here you go. We're going to start out with Dogmeat, ever loyal. He's a legendary creature and a dog. When Dogmeat enters the battlefield, you mill 5 cards, then return an aura or equipment card from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever an equipped creature you control that's enchanted or equipped attacks, you create a junk token, as long as Dogmeat is out. So he acts as like the perfect support for this deck, but you can also build him as your Voltron, and it's a win-win. He works both great as a support and also as your Voltron. First guy I start out with is Armory Paladin. I wonder if this guy has executed anyone for a toaster oven. Yeah, I bet you didn't think you were going to see some found footage from Fallout 1. Like it was something sent from the Taliban. Armory Paladin is a human knight with trample, and whenever you cast an aura or equipment spell, you exile the top card of your library. You may play that card until the end of your next turn. So he basically helps with top decking. He's good to build as your Voltron, and he can help you get equipment out quicker. So on to the next, Balan, Wandering Knight. Okay, one of the Brotherhood of Steel became a furry. We're all inclusive in this deck. He is a legendary creature and a cat knight with first strike. And Balan Wandering Knight has double strike as long as 2 or more equipment are attached to it. You can pay 1 in a white to attach all equipment you control to Balan. Yeah, this card is pretty dope. The next one is Beatrix, the Loyal General. I never played Final Fantasy IX, but she seems like Big Boss's stepsister. She's got that sick eye patch. You know, she might know about Kojima. She might know about Metal Gear. She's a legendary creature and a human soldier with vigilance. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may attach any number of equipment you control to target creature you control. That keyword, any number, so all equipment you can just move around if you want. It's pretty dang useful, and for some reason I never draw her when I play this deck. But on to the next, Bighorner Rancher. I'm glad I finally have my Midwestern representation inside my card game I like to play. He's a human ranger with vigilance, and you can tap him to add an amount of forest mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. When you sacrifice Bighorner Rancher, you gain life equal to the greatest toughness among other creatures you control. So it acts more like a support to your Voltron. I guess you could use Bighorner Rancher as your Voltron, but I've never done that. It's always like a support creature in relation to your Voltron, since he's like 5 mana. By that time you already have 1 built up. Next is Cait, Cage Brawler. You can romance Cait in Fallout 4, and with some of the dumb stuff I already say to my partner, this would be me if she was like Cait. Cait is a legendary creature and a human warrior, and as long as it's your turn, Cage Brawler has Indestructible. Whenever Cait attacks, you and defending player each draw a card, then discard a card. You put 2 1/1 counters on Cait if you discard the card with the highest mana value among those cards or tied for highest. So she gets buffer, and it's like a little bit kind of group huggy, but obviously you're going to benefit because you're just going to discard all your big equipment, somehow get it back equipped onto a creature you control with Mantle of the Ancients or something like that. I'll talk about it later in the video, but yeah, man, this is my friends to me after playing the Voltron deck. Next is Cass, Hand of Vengeance. Cass is a tradeswoman, and of course is good at getting goods around. She's also a traumatized alcoholic, so I guess that's the trade-off with this card if you can handle that. She's a legendary creature and a human ranger with vigilance. A lot of vigilance. Whenever Cass or another creature you control dies, if it was enchanted or equipped, return any number of aura cards that were attached to it from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to target creature. Then attach any number of equipment that were attached to it to that creature. So essentially, she just helps you minimize the damage you take when you lose your Voltron. She can essentially just kind of move that equipment around if one creature gets taken out, and then that becomes your next Voltron, and her herself has the ability, so it's kind of nice. It's good for protecting your Voltron. And on to, what the hell? Cloud? What are you doing here? It's Cloud, Midgar Mercenary. This is the Cloud that was before everything happens to Cloud. He's a legendary creature, human soldier mercenary, and when Cloud enters, search your library for an equipment card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. As long as Cloud is equipped, if an ability of Cloud or an equipment attached to it triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. So all the trigger abilities from the equipment happens twice, which makes him the superior Cloud, because on to the next, I have the other Cloud, Planet's Champion. This is the Cloud after everything. And somehow, when he realizes he's superhuman, his ability is worse. The Innocent Cloud is way better, although it's nice to have Indestructible and Double Strike, which is what this Cloud has. He's a human soldier mercenary as well. And equip abilities you activate that target Cloud costs 2 less to activate, which can be nice with lower equipment with a small equip cost. You just do it for free if you don't have any of the other stuff. Next is Codsworth, Handy Helper. Codsworth is like the good guy Terminator. He's just here to help a brother out. He's a legendary artifact creature and a robot. Commanders you control have Ward 2. You can tap him to add 2 white mana. You spend this mana only to cast aura and or equipment spells. And you can tap to attach target aura or equipment you control to target creature you control, and you activate that only as a sorcery. So yeah, he's pretty helpful, especially for that ward and white mana for the equip costs. On to the next is Crimson Caravaneer. She probably works for Cass, and if she's got a bunch of stuff on her, she's like Dogmeat but with double strike. 2 fists instead of a singular dog bite goes pretty far in this, I guess. She's a human scout that also has trample. Whenever Crimson Caravaneer deals combat damage to a player, you create a junk token. And junk tokens essentially help you tap and sacrifice to exile the top card, and you can cast it to help with that top deck draw. Next we got Danitha Capashen, Paragon. My favorite Dominarian has come to help out my bestest doggy. And the hair is not a stylistic choice, it's so she can actually fit her helmet better, okay? Even though I've never seen an art with this chick wearing a helmet. She's a legendary creature and a human knight with First Strike, Vigilance, and Lifelink. Aura and equipment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Its aura and equipment is super simple, helps you pay it for cheap, and she's great to build as your Voltron because of that lifelink and First Strike. Next we have Frenzied Baloth. I read damage can't be prevented on this card, and I thought, yeah, no one can stop my meat from going to Pound Town. He's a beast. Literally, his creature type is a beast. The spell can't be countered, he has trample and haste, of course. Creature spells you control can't be countered, and combat damage can't be prevented. Super freaking good. Next is Gunner Conscript. He's kinda in this deck with me expecting him to die. I hired him to try to kill you, and most likely he's gonna be killed. He drops a lot of junk when he dies, but one man's trash can be another man's treasure. Except treasure really is different than junk in this game, so the metaphor kind of falls apart. He's a human mercenary with trample. Gunner Conscript gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. And if he dies, if he was enchanted, you create a junk token. And if he was equipped, you create a junk token. So it's good to get that top deck going. Gunner Conscript is great to get early and start building very early. Just because you can expect for a singular like target removal to happen. Except he always gets exiled when I play him. So it's like you don't even get the junks. On to the next, it's Lightning! Lightning is a human soldier with menace, and whenever lightning deals combat damage to a player, you exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as you control lightning. So, as long as lightning is out and you're exiling cards with lightning, she almost acts as like a second hand, and she can be great to build as your Voltron, because boom, you get a second hand with lightning, and she's helping you cast spells. It's great, it's wonderful. Next is Mister Gutsy. He's like Codsworth, except he craves blood. He's an artifact creature and a robot soldier. Whenever you cast an aura or equipment spell, you put a 1/1 counter on Mister Gutsy. And when he dies, you create X junk tokens, where X is the number of 1/1 counters on it. He's dope. He helps a ton with that top deck draw because of the junk tokens. Pretty incredible. On to the next. We have Pearl Ear, Imperial Advisor. Now I know that you're thinking by this point that there's a confusing narrative theme to this deck. It doesn't really make sense, and you're totally right. But we got Universes Beyond in Magic, so yeah, I'm gonna have Pearl Ear with my tweaked out abusive girlfriend video game character at the table, okay? He's a legendary creature and a fox advisor with lifelink. And enchantment spells you cast have affinity for auras. And whenever you cast an aura spell that targets a modified permanent you control, you draw a card. Again, helps with that card draw and makes auras incredibly cheaper because of the affinity. On to the next, we have Preston Garby, Minuteman. Another sentiment needs your help. He's pretty dang good. He's a legendary creature, human soldier. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you create a green aura enchantment token named Settlement, attached to up to one target land you control. It has enchant land, and enchanted land has you tap it and you can add 1 mana of any color, so it turns all lands in all colors when they're enchanted. And whenever Preston Garby Minuteman attacks, you untap each enchanted permanent you control. The problem with him is he comes out like pretty late. He can come out like soonest probably turn 4 or turn 3 if you get really lucky with your ramp, but he's most likely going to come out in turn 5. But when he attacks, untapping each enchanted permanent you control is actually pretty incredible, because that also counts your lands because of the settlements. On to the next, we have Puresteel Paladin. This card, I realized that Fallout is actually copium for Warhammer players that don't have a good open world RPG for their universe yet. I'm so sorry guys, if you look at the power armor, it just reminds me a lot of Warhammer. You guys got some good games, but no open world RPG for your faction. I'm so sorry. He's a human knight, and whenever an equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. And Metalcraft makes it so equipment you control has equipped 0 as long as you can control 3 or more artifacts. So you can completely skip some of those high equip costs from other equipments with Puresteel Paladin. He's pretty good. Next we have Stonehoof Chieftain. This guy is like one of those Lynels from Zelda, and he's just as hard to get rid of too. When am I going to get my Zelda universes beyond? Nintendo would actually probably just sue these guys, probably. He's a centaur warrior with trample and indestructible. Whenever another creature you control attacks, it gains trample and indestructible until end of turn. It's just a great late game ender, ideally. Given everything trample and indestructible, like you're just trying to close out the game with Stonehoof. Next is 3-Dog Galaxy News DJ. As if Fox News wasn't toxic enough for you, here's a news DJ that creates multiple Voltrons. He's a human bard, and whenever you attack, you may pay 2 and sacrifice an aura attached to 3-Dog Galaxy News DJ. When you sacrifice an aura this way, for each other attacking creature you control, you create a token that's a copy of that aura attached to that creature. So if you build him as your Voltron and you're able to pay 2, boom, you put an aura on everything. Okay, so on to the artifacts, which is mostly just equipment. We're going to start out with Argentum Armor. This is stronger than sweaty gym clothes that should have been washed 3 days ago. Because, read the effects on this. It's an equipment. An equipped creature gets +6/+6. Whenever equipped creature attacks, destroy target permanent. As target permanent, you could choose a land, you could choose enchantment, artifact, creature, whatever your heart desires, anything that stays on the field. So yeah, that's pretty frightening. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you. Next we have Behemoth Sledge. And don't ask me how a dog can wield a giant sledgehammer. It's like Sif with the buffest neck you've ever seen in your entire life. It's an equipment, and equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has trample and lifelink. With equip 3, we love that lifelink and that trample, a staple for Voltron. Next is Bloodforged Battle-Axe. This artifact multiplies like rabbits and breeds through inflicting suffering. Because equipped creature gets +2/+0, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, you create a token that's a copy of Bloodforged Battle-Axe with equip 2. And if you keep equipping the copies will then make more copies, and it multiplies like rabbits if you're able to inflict suffering on your friends. It's beautiful. Next is Champion's Helm. You just put the big helmet and protect the dog. It's so cute. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, and as long as equipped creature is legendary, it has hexproof. It's just to help avoid removal and keep big helmet on the dog. And it has equip 1. Next is an amazing equipment, Hammer of Nazahn. You might as well call this Hammer Friday Night Cracked Out Thor's Hammer, because it causes all the weapons on the field to get sucked to your creature, instead of just like Thor sucking his hammer to him. Why am I saying sucking like that? But anyway, it's a legendary artifact, and whenever Hammer of Nazahn or another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. And equipped creature gets +2/+0 and has indestructible. So if you're building any kind of Voltron, Hammer of Nazahn is incredible with equip 4. On to the next, we got Junk Jet. This allows me to finally put my junk in your face. It's an equipment, and when Junk Jet enters the battlefield, you create a junk token. You can pay 3 to sacrifice another artifact and double equipped creature's power until end of turn with a cheap equip cost of 1. So you just sack one of those junks and you can double the power of your creature. It can be pretty beefy, pretty beefy. Next is Lost Jitte. They should have just took out Jitte and let you hand it over to your opponent because they're about to take the L. It's a legendary artifact equipment, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage, you put a charge counter on Lost Jitte, and you can remove a charge counter from Lost Jitte at any time to choose one of the effects. You can either untap target land, target creature can't block this turn, or put a 1/1 counter on equipped creature. And for 1 mana and equip 1, it's actually a pretty dang good equipment, especially for the untapped target land. You can get your value back pretty quickly early on. Next we have Mage Slayer, and you just revert to Unga Bunga. We swing sword, we win, we do damage, we kill. It's an artifact equipment, and whenever equipped creature attacks, it deals damage equal to its power to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. So you can just choose the player. Don't even matter if they can chump block it or not, you just deal damage to the power with your creature. Extremely good. Makes me happy that I have this card. Next is Masterwork of Ingenuity, and now I can have 2 of my junk in your face. Masterwork of Ingenuity is an artifact equipment that can enter the battlefield as a copy of any equipment on the battlefield. So pretty much any of this tomfoolery I got thrown at you, you could just copy and have 2 of. Next is Pip-Boy 3000, and I always wonder how Dogmeat uses this. I wonder if you could just wrap the Pip-Boy around Dogmeat's torso. Might look a little goofy, it might like kind of suck him in like a corset, but it's an artifact equipment, and whenever equipped creature attacks, you can choose 1. Either sword inventory, you draw a card and then discard a card. Pick a perk, you put a 1/1 counter on that creature, and check map, you untap up to 2 target lands with equip 2. And of course, you know I like to get that mana value. You untap the 2 target lands most of the time, but it is nice to have the card draw and 1/1 counters as an option. Next is Pre-War Formalwear. Absolutely useless piece of equipment in Fallout, but it is a great equipment for a commander, because when Pre-War Formalwear enters the battlefield, you return target creature card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield and attach Pre-War Formalwear to it. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance, and just a way to get a guy back. If you let Dogmeat go to the graveyard, you can play Pre-War Formalwear and get him back for like the same amount. Make him a little bit bigger, you know. Next is Quietus Spike. This makes my friends, ironically, not so quietus when I smackus them in the faces with this, because it's an equipment and gives equipped creature death touch. And whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, that player loses half their life rounded up. With equip 3, pain and suffering. And a nice little red blanket. Looks kind of cozy for that little spike. Next is Silver Shroud costume. Dressing up your Voltron as Michael Jackson makes him pretty smooth and quite criminal. Ow! You know. It's an equipment with flash, and when Silver Shroud costume enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control, and of course that creature gains Shroud until end of turn, which means nobody can target them with spells or abilities, including you. And then it gives equipped creature unblockable with equip 3, so pretty dang good to make your Voltron unblockable. It kind of guarantees you to get that commander damage if it ends up being Dogmeat. Next is Soul Ring. Yeah, this deck can basically compete in competitive EDH. Don't even add me right now. You can tap it and add 2 colorless. Staple, dude. And another staple is Swiftfoot boots. I like to pretend there's 4 boots there. Little booties for my Dogmeat to protect his feet. Bars from Mars. It's an equipment, and it gives equipped creature hexproof and haste with equip 1. Another staple there. And I have Sword of the Animist. Now my pupper is like Sif, because it's a legendary artifact equipment, and it gives equipped creature +1/+1. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may search your library for a basic land card, put it on the battlefield tap, then shuffle with equip 2. It's great, gives you a very straightforward mana ramp, and rewards you for swinging with your big old meaty dog. Next is the Dominion Bracelet. It's like you're putting your friends under house arrest and controlling them and their behaviors and their tendencies, because it's a legendary artifact equipment. And look at this novel. It says equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has pay 15. Exile the Dominion Bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. This ability costs X less to activate, where X is the creature's power and you activate only as a sorcery. And in Voltron, it actually gets extremely easy to get one creature to above 15, so you can just do that for free normally. And it's fun to take control of your friends and then swing out on someone that is not you, to leave them open, to then swing your meat in their face. It's amazing. Next is Ultima Weapon. Ultima Power! It's a legendary artifact equipment from Final Fantasy. Whenever equipped creature attacks, destroy target creature an opponent controls. Equipped creature gets +7/+7. Make them pretty juicy and pretty big. Next is
War. War never changes. The Romans waged war to gather slaves and wealth. Spain built an empire from its lust for gold and territory. Hitler shaped a battered Germany into an economic superpower. But war never changes.
World Slayer. Yeah, so it's an equipment, and whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy all permanents other than World Slayer. It might as well just put like a nuke next to this card. I play this card, it's like the whole table size and is depressed. So I recommend either you try to use it to close out the game and give your creature indestructible in some form, or if you're really wanting to board wipe and keep the game going, put World Slayer in, dude. Cause suffering for your friends, just like myself. Next, I'm going to talk about the instance, where it's pretty much an attempt to try to protect our board, and specifically our creature. First, we got Boros Charm, Lock It in Me Pocket. It's an instant, and Boros Charm deals 4 damage to target player or planeswalker. And you choose one of these. Permanents you control gain indestructible until end of turn, and target creature gains double strike until end of turn. If you play that in response to doing World Slayer, you can move to World Slayer and then just have like an insane board state. But yeah, it's that second choice I really love, but it's nice to have options. Next is Heroic Intervention. Thank you, Papa Nick Ballantyne, for saving our life. You're a very good man, robot dude. It's an instant, and permanents you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Obviously, we like hexproof and indestructible. We don't want people killing our big boy Voltron dude, our big dog. Next is Inventory Management. If only I can manage my inventory in games at instant speed. It has Split Second, which it basically means it cuts the stack and stops it, so people can't add stuff on top of the stack once you play it. Same with the abilities that are not mana abilities. They can't activate them. And for each aura and equipment you control, you may attach it to a creature you control. So you can like swing out on someone and they like don't block it or something, or like you can just do a little bit of tomfoolery with inventory management and like kill out someone and they wouldn't even know. Next is Path to Exile. Exiled from the vault once more, as always. It's at instant speed, and you exile target creature. Its controller may search the library for a basic land card, put that card on the battlefield tap, then shuffle. Good little bit of removal, especially if they only got one creature. You just get rid of them, swing out on them. So we're moving on to sorceries. We're going to start out with a card where you're about to expose your friends to some blasphemy, because it's Blasphemous Act, and the spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature on the battlefield. Blasphemous Act deals 13 damage to each creature, so ideally you want to just keep your Voltron alive and then kill everybody's creature with this spell. Next is Divine Reckoning, and I've had a Divine Reckoning every time I draw this card because it saves me the game, and I seem to top deck it every time I end up needing it. It's a sorcery, and each player chooses a creature they control, and you destroy the rest, and it has flashback, so you can pretty much play this twice if you can afford it. Of course, you just choose your Voltron, and then everyone chooses their insane board state and just gets rid of it, except for like a kind of good creature they got, but it don't matter because you're about to stomp on them with the Voltron. Bim. Next card. Oh, Megaton's Fate. You can use it to destroy an artifact and set up for treasure tokens, but you know what you gotta do. We want the penthouse suite. Okay, if you don't get that reference, it's okay. It's just a sorcery and you choose one. You either disarm the nuke that's in Megaton, you destroy target artifact and create 4 treasure tokens, or you detonate it. And Megaton's Fate deals 8 damage to each creature, and each player gets 4 rad counters, including yourself. You should totally do the wrong thing. It's great for that wipe. And we got single combat, almost the same as Divine Reckoning. You 1v1 me, bro. You and my meat. 1-on-1. Each player chooses a creature or planeswalker they control, then sacrifices the rest. Players can't cast creature or planeswalker spells until the end of your next turn. So, yeah, pretty straightforward, just trying to keep that Voltron alive, damage going. Next is enchantments. and we're just trying to make big creature do damage win, not super hard. We start out with all that glitters. It's an aura enchantment, and you enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. He's gonna get big. Speaking of being big, almost perfect. If he was perfect, he would have been a 10 out of 10, not a 9 out of 10. It is better than being fugly though. You enchant it on creature, and enchanted creature has base power and toughness 9, 10, and has indestructible. Very nice. Big dog and power armor. Very nice, very nice. Next is Animal Friend. You get some buff squirrels with this, and they aren't really that small or nice, as you can tell by the art. You enchant creature, and enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, you create a 1/1 green squirrel creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on that token for each aura and equipment attached to this creature other than Animal Friend. So you get this like mutated squirrel that just helps a brother out. It could be a chump blocker, or if you get that DJ out from earlier, stuff can get pretty crazy. Just saying. Next is Buried in the Garden. This is my actual experience of not being able to play with the kids outside when I was a child. You enchant this on a land. When Buried in the Garden enters the battlefield, you exile target non-land permanent you don't control until Buried in the Garden leaves the battlefield. And whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana of any color. So it acts both as removal and as a little bit of ramp. And I think I just put it in just because I got this card and I like the art. Next is Grim Reaper's Sprint. You take another turn in combat and your friends go, nah shit, here we go again. It's an aura enchantment and it has Morbid. It costs 3 less to cast. If a creature died this turn, you enchant creature. When Grim Reaper's Sprint enters the battlefield, you untap each creature you control. It's your main phase. There's an additional combat phase after this phase. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has haste. And you just want it for the additional combat. Maybe it's to try to close out the game, or you just want to do some more damage. It's very nice. Next is Idolized. And at this point, whoever is your Voltron is having an ego trip, you included, and you're about to get swords to plowshared, and you want to melt off of your seat into the ground. You enchant creature, and enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks alone, it gets +X/+X until end of turn, where X is the number of non-land permanents you control, which combined with the junk and the settlements, maybe it's some squirrels, it can get pretty big, pretty nuts. Next is my favorite, Mantle of the Ancients. If you've been getting railed all game, just play Mantle of the Ancients, and you begin the reverse railing with your meat. You enchant creature you control. When Mantle of the Ancients enters the battlefield, you return any number of target aura and or equipment cards that could be attached to enchanted creature from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to enchanted creature. And enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to it. So pretty much you pull everything from the graveyard that you can put on a creature and you stick that right onto the creature that you put Mantle of the Ancients on. He can be so big, that dog. And it creates pain for all. It's quite literally in the name. You do BDSM with your playgroup. You enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchanted creature deals damage equal to its power to any other target. Usually you want to choose a player. Whenever enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. So it punishes people super hard for blocking whatever your Voltron is. Comes from Edge of Eternity's nice, neat little new card. Next is Rancor. And this version from the Precon is probably the best art for the card. Do not underestimate Granny's rolling pin, oh my god. You enchant a creature, and enchanted creature gets +2/+0 and has trample. Very nice for the trample, and when it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, you return it to your hand. So you can always just pay 1 force to start stacking your next Voltron. Get him just trample and a little bit of power to go with, to start out with. Mostly good for that trample. Next we got Sticky Fingers. Finally something that doesn't just create junk, but treasure. That is what you are. You enchant creature. Enchanted creature has menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. And when enchanted creature dies, draw a card. Next is Strong Back. This card really allows you to throw it back. You enchant creature, and equip abilities you activate that target enchanted creature cost 3 less to activate. Aura spells you cast that target enchanted creature cost 3 less to cast. And enchanted creature gets +2/+2 for each aura and equipment attached to it. So probably honestly one of the best enchantment auras from this deck. As soon as I play this in my pod, it's like, yep, okay, either the strong back is going to get destroyed, or your Voltron is, because they do not want that. Next is Unflinching Courage. Big dog, make life and eat you. Om nom. Pretend the dinosaur big dog. You enchant creature, it almost acts as Behemoth Sledge, but an aura. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, trample, and lifelink. Next is Vault 101 Birthday Party. And it's all fun and games until someone's dad leaves. It's an enchantment saga, and the first part of the saga, you create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token and a food token. The second and third part is you may put an aura or an equipment card from your hand or graveyard onto the battlefield. If an equipment is put onto the battlefield this way, you may attach it to a creature you control, so it's really great to do with either. Next is Well Rested, something I haven't experienced in many years once I became an adult with adult responsibilities. Adults can relate, or people trying to cosplay as an adult like myself. You enchant creature, and enchanted creature has, whenever this creature becomes untapped, you put 2 1/1 counters on it, then you gain 2 life and draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So progressively as turns pass, if Well Rested is on it, your creature is just getting a little bit stronger and stronger. Unless they have Vigilance, I found that if I have Vigilance in this enchantment, it actually kind of like shuts it down because you're not tapping your creature to attack. But anyway, I just want to talk about mostly just Rogue's Passage, because you can pay for and tap it, and you can make target creature unblockable, so that's like one of the most notable lands. But I'm going to rapid fire the lands and play some nice Fallout music for you, just in case you're curious about the lands in the deck. Thank you for taking the time to watch this point if you did. I'm going to leave a deck list in the description and in the comments, and a pinned comment, in case you're curious about researching the deck list that I have for this. The app that I use to manage my decks says that the market price for this deck is $143, in case you're curious about buying the whole deck list. If you have different cards or a better deck to beat my meat with, just let me know in the comments, and I'm be very curious and interested to learn about more cards or decks. The Dogmeat Precon has great value. I just took it, tore it apart, and tried to upgrade it as much as I possibly could, and this is what I ended up with. So, thank you, Dogmeat. I give you 2 pats on the head. Good dog. Thank you, the viewer, for taking the time to watch this. I love you so much. And let me know if you want to know more about my commander decks. I currently have like 5 other ones right now that I'm working on, kinda. And I felt like Dogmeat was the most finished that I wanted to talk about. So, thank you so much, and goodbye now.
Crazy calls me, sure I'm crazy, crazy in love I'd say. I say I'll go through fire, and I'll go through fire, as he wants it, so it will be.